Hello, East Hartford. Once again, I'm back. And this is the Super Bowl show. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready for this Sunday, because you know I'm all ready. I got my jersey on. I got my hat. This is what I wear to the games. I'm going to act like I'm going to the game this weekend, but I'm not, because you know that's too much money. So we're not going to go there. All right, here we go. I'm going to run down some things about this Sunday, some little history, and definitely I'm going to talk about my boys, but other than that, here we go. The Super Bowl this year is going to be shown in 180 countries and 30 different languages. So it's a big game. The world will be watching, and I'm sure the Giants and the Patriots are going to put on an excellent show. And, I did a little research about the Super Bowl, and I came up with some interesting things. The money that these guys are getting is, of course, ridiculous. But, they put out there, they work hard. And the winner from this year's Super Bowl is getting an amazing $88,000, while the loser gets $47,000. Now, compared to 1933 NFL championship game, now I looked this up and I couldn't believe it. The Chicago Bears and New York Giants, they could have been called the Yankees back then, because, 1933, that's a long time ago. The winner was Chicago Bears in 1933. They got $210, and check this out. They gave him cents, $210.34, while the loser got $140.22. So that should give you a little history of the time. That's a long time ago, 1933. They only got, $200 compared to $88,000. Now, the first Super Bowl winner, the Green Bay Packers, they got $15,000. So you figure from $200 to $15,000, they upgraded a little bit, while the loser only got $7,500. This stayed the same way for 11 years. So up until Super Bowl 12, once again, my squad, when Dallas slaughtered Denver Broncos, they upped the pay a little bit, and it's been escalating every year because of the revenue and the ads and the money that we put out to watch this game. The players' salary, of course, they go up. And as I said, Green Bay, they started the whole thing. They won the first two. They were very dominant. Only 7 teams, by the way, 7 out of 45. Won back-to-back Super Bowls. Of course, my Cowboys. You had the Dolphins. You had the Patriots. Good teams. Ugh. Anyway, you had the 49ers. You had the, let's not forget the Denver Broncos. Good teams. That was John Elway last year. He went out as a champ, by the way, so good for him. And also you had the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let me talk about Pittsburgh for a second. Pittsburgh, very dominant of the 70s, dominated the 70s. You must say that this team was the best team in the Super Bowl era, because out of 10 years, they won 4. So they won 2 Super Bowls, they took 2 years off, and then won another 2. Very dominant. They beat pretty much all of the good teams of the 70s. They beat my Cowboys twice. I'm a little down about that one, but I hate watching the highlights on that one. But, hey, we got back one, at least, at Super Bowl 30, so that was pretty cool. Everyone knows I'm a Cowboy fan. You see I'm G'd up Cowboy. But you know what? I respect other teams. I respect what they do. I respect the Steelers. Whatever. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here's a little Super Bowl facts for you. When you're watching this game, you're going to see hopefully a lot of points and a lot of yards. But there's I want to mention out a few things. Phil Simms, when they won their first Super Bowl, went 22 for 25, 88% completion. Amazing game. That was a good one for the 86 Giants. I don't like them either, but I respect them. I respect the Giants. So, that was an awesome game. Super Bowl 29, Steve Young, 6 touchdown passes. They really put it to the Chargers in that game. They really did. So I got to give it to them on that one. They really gave it to them. And then, you know, you got your good, you got to have your bad. The most interceptions in one game, that honor goes to Rich Gannon from the Oakland Raiders when they played Tampa Bay. Super Bowl 37, that was ugly. How you going to throw 5 interceptions in the biggest game of your career? But it happened. That year, Tampa did have a good defense, so I got to give it to Tampa. They really put it to Gannon there. He was an MVP that year, too, so that was pretty awesome. The most rushing touchdowns goes to Terrell Davis with 3 in Super Bowl 32. And just to note, he had a migraine during that game, so for him to overcome that and come back in the game, that was pretty impressive. That was pretty, because I was watching that. I remember watching that game. He's like, Coach, I can't see, I can't see. Sure enough, he had to get over that right quick and get back in that game, and he did it. So the Broncos pulled it out. Then you got the longest run in Super Bowl history. Fast Willie Parker, 75-yard run against the Seattle Seahawks. That, even though I didn't like it, I'll talk about that later, but that was an amazing run. It was real quick, too. He just right through the line, touchdown. And then, you know, let's talk about some team effort in the Super Bowl. You know, you got you got Dallas and Pittsburgh. They went to the most Super Bowls with 8. Then followed by you got the Patriots. They're moving up. They got moving up. You see the Patriots, they're going to the Super Bowl every like 2, 3, 4 years now. So, and that's probably because of one person, Mr. Brady, number 12. You know, I talk about him all the time. He makes me sick too. But, Brady once again. You know, you got your good, and then you got your bad. You got Buffalo. Let's talk about Buffalo for a second, because anyone that knows about Super Bowls, they know about the Bills. They went to 4 in a row. Might I say that might never happen again. 4 in a row will never happen again. There will be no team in football from this point on to go to 4 straight Super Bowls. Even though Buffalo lost them all, and they lost them in fashion too. They didn't just lose by 1 point. Only the first one they went to, they lost 20-19. The rest have been blowouts. So, and another thing, they lost to the whole division, basically. NFC East, they lost to one division. They basically went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Giants, lost to the Redskins, and lost to Dallas twice. So, thanks, Buffalo. You got our Super Bowls back. Congrats. But, unfortunately, in this Super Bowl era, there's been 4 teams to never make it to the Super Bowl. And, you know, as a sports fan, you know, we hope that these teams get there one day, but, you know, things are just not working out for them. The Cleveland Browns, even though they've won championships, they just never gotten to the Super Bowl. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're a new franchise, but they never got there either. And then you got the Detroit Lions. They've won championships, NFL championships, before the Super Bowl era. I think out of the Texans, that's another team that ain't got to the Super Bowl. I think the Detroit Lions, out of these teams, will get to the Super Bowl one day. They will. And I hope, for fans' sake up there in Detroit, I hope they get there because, you know, the fan support is great up there, and they love it. They love it. You know, I'm just happy that it's Super Bowl weekend. It's the last game of the year, of the NFL year, so I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. You know, you got players right quick. Mike Lodish from the Buffalo Bills. He went to 6 Super Bowls. That's incredible in his own self. 6, 4 with the Bills, all losses, and 2 with Denver, so congrats to him. Congrats to him. He finally got one at the end there. Then you got the Super Bowl player with the most rings, And hopefully this weekend he'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame. My man, Charles Haley, and the reason why the Dallas Cowboys won those 3 Super Bowls with 5. 3 with Dallas and 2 with the San Francisco 49ers. An amazing pass rusher. I hope he really gets in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. He was an awesome player. He was the Lawrence Taylor of his day. So I hope he gets in there. Well, good effort, good effort. You got your coach with his most victories. Of course, Chuck Noll with 4. Then you got, well, you know, them Patriots again. Belichick is going after history. He's going after a lot of history this week. So hopefully, let's see what happens. Hopefully for you Patriots fans that Belichick gets his 4th. And that would just cement him as probably the greatest coach in NFL history. And they still have a good team, young enough team. Brady's still rocking and rolling. You never know. They might get there. So, well, this is the time of the show where I'm going to give you my top favorites and worst of the Super Bowl era. My worst Super Bowl. Let's go with number 5, the Rams and the Patriots. Don't like it. That's when Spygate started, by the way. Remember that. You got number 4, the Ravens at the Giants. You got number 3, the Packers and the Patriots. Don't like that one. Oh, and just a little note, I don't like Brett Favre. I didn't like Brett Favre. I do not like Brett Favre. I don't want to say hate. Hate is a strong word. I do not like Brett Favre. There you go. Number 2, the 49ers and the Chargers. That was Super Bowl 29. I just don't like the 49ers. They ran up the score. Yeah, number 1, Pitt and Seattle, Super Bowl 40. The worst Super Bowl game ever. Look it up. The worst Super Bowl game ever. And I might say the worst officiated game ever. Whew. All right, let's go to my favorites now. We got number 5, the Giants and the Patriots. The almost perfect Patriots, 18-1 Patriots. Giants did them up. I knew they was going. The football guys would not allow the Patriots to win this game because they was running up the score. So that's what you get. Number 4, on the positive side, Carolina and the Patriots, Super Bowl 38. Awesome game, awesome game. Remember that game. It was back and forth, back and forth. It might have been tops in my list. Number 3, the Packers in Denver. As I said earlier, I do not like Brett Favre. I do not like Brett Favre. Number 2, my squad, finally. Super Bowl 27 and 28. Dallas beating the Bills twice. And number 1, Super Bowl 22. Yes, I said it. Super Bowl 22, the Redskins in Denver. That's when Doug Williams finally did it. The first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And here's my picks for this year's Super Bowl. The Giants, 28, Patriots, 24. All right, guys, I'll see y'all next week. Here we go. Bye. Hope you have a good one.